Wellness visits are important to make sure a baby's growing and meeting certain milestones. How often a child is seen depends on their age. In tonight's edition of Feel Great Today, we'll discuss how often they will see a doctor and what parents should look out for.
Feel Great Today with Jessica Jukic.
The general trend you're going to follow is you're always looking at how they're doing with their eating.
Dr. Paul Fishbook is a pediatrician at the Aspirus Rhinelander Pediatric Clinic. He says babies are seen between 7 and 8 times during their first year.
So we always are measuring how heavy they are, how tall they are, is their head increasing in size the way we would expect it to, all signs that their body is developing normally. And then the other major thing is what are called developmental milestones, which are physical, social, verbal skills. And we've done enough studies to know roughly at what age these are going to show up by.
Dr. Fishbook says he sees babies under 12 months old the most out of any age because they're nonverbal, so it's harder to figure out what they need.
We definitely see them a lot more just because people want to make sure that they don't have complications from illnesses. Under 1 month is its own unique category, so a fever of like 100.4 or higher, under any circumstance, you need to go to the ER because you have to assume that your baby has a serious infection.
He says you cannot give ibuprofen to kids under 6 months old, but it's safe to give kids Tylenol as long as you follow age and dosage recommendations.
The dose that you need to give your child for it to be effective is on a sliding scale. It's going to change as your child weighs more. So the dose you were using 6 months ago no longer is going to work, especially in like infant and toddler years when they do gain a lot of weight in shorter amounts of time.
He says the most effective cold medicine for a child is honey.
I wouldn't give that under age 1 because there's a risk of botulism that you just don't want to mess with. But most of the medicines you would get, honey is what's doing the heavy lifting.
Thanks for the insight. Next Tuesday night, we'll talk about tips to optimize sleep.